out of 10. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.
A very good evening and welcome to this, the third edition of our new series of Breeding to Win, and it's right in the height of the breeding season. So lots of excitement, a lot of foals being born, and guess what? They'll be starting the covering pretty shortly too. So a great show lined up for you. We're going to give you some news about some of the stallions and also a couple of newsworthy items. Let's start and take a look. Firstly, Fiona Ramsden, well, she's out and about and she gets to chat to Joanna Looms of the stunning Landsrack Hotel. We also get to chat to Candice Robinson after taking over the reins of the Mike Bass stable. So that's also very interesting news and latest developments from the Bass yard. John Freeman sends us in 2 stallion profiles, and we also look at the science behind the racing legend Zenyatta. And on top of that, we also bring you news from the very smart Ascot stud in Port Elizabeth, and we look forward to catching up with Ashley Parker's stallions, Global View and Bold Silvano.
Every sip, the taste uniquely Dunkin'. Each cup, uniquely you. Brewed fresh because it's not just any coffee, it's your coffee. Your Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
At 130 down now, but at 130,000 God. At 130,000, he's a killer but run cold.
Presenting the strongest book of 2-year-olds ever offered for sale in Australia at the 2016 English Ready to Race sale. Australia's top 15 sires are all represented among the 255 professionally prepared juveniles, breezed up and ready to race. Breeze ups in Sydney and Victoria all welcome. For more information, visit inglis.com.au.
The CTS Landsrack Ready to Run race day and sale is now very much upon us. And obviously Landsrack now becoming one of the social highlights of the racing calendar with a magnificent race day held in November. Fiona Ramsden was out and about and she took time to go visit Joanna Looms out at the stunning venue, the Landsrack Hotel and Spa.
It's a glorious day today here at the Landsrack Hotel near Stellenbosch, and I'm going to catch up with Winston Cowie, who's going to tell me a little bit about the hotel and the 2.5 million Landsrack Ready to Run stakes. director here at Lanzarek Hotel for quite some years now.
Yes, it's been 4 years. I arrived 4 years ago, around about the same time that we started the Lanzarek Ready to Run Stakes. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful and elegant hotel, and the Cape Dutch architecture is just so stunning.
Well, it's quite a mixture, actually. It's got a bit of a strong French influence. It's certainly got an English influence. And although we called it Cape Dutch, it's pretty English, I think.
There's some exciting and quite amazing transformations going on here at the hotel.
Certainly are. We spent the first year fixing up gutters and roofs and leaks and rising damp. The second year we started with infrastructure. Now we are busy redoing all the rooms, completely refurbished from scratch.
How many rooms and suites do you have on offer here?
We have 48.
I believe the spa is nearly finished and you're ready for the grand opening.
Well, the spa we hope will be finished by December, the end of December. It's looking beautiful on paper. I think it's going to be quite exceptional. It's got amazing views of the mountain and all the way to Table Mountain, so I think it's going to be quite spectacular.
You have a wonderful restaurant here and the fine dining and wines on offer are quite exceptional.
Well, the wines, of course, our winemaker has really done well. I can see that he's winning prizes all over, and there's certainly been improvement on the wine, and I'm pleased with that. They're mostly premier wines now. And with the food, it's a constant attention that needs to be given to it, yeah, but we're doing our very best.
The 2.5 million ready-to-run stakes will be held at Kenilworth Racecourse on Saturday the 19th of November. Now, your association with CTS is very strong now.
Well, I think there's no doubt that if we look at the racing circuit around the country, horses that were at the starting gate of the Lanzarek Ready to Run Stakes are today really excellent and right there with the champions in South Africa. So there's so much to be proud about there. And I suppose at the same time there's a rebirth of Lanzarek itself, which is quite inspirational.
Not only do we have fine thoroughbreds on the racecourse, but you bring your own chef. We have fine dining, fine wines, great entertainment and music. It makes for a very, very special day. The
first year we were at Kenilworth, we were upstairs in the building itself, and I felt we were a bit too far away from the race. You haven't got that feeling of, maybe the dirt flying at you. So we've tried to move as close as we can to the finishing post. And I think it was really important that we try and reflect, what we do at Lanzarek at the race day itself. And so you'll find that we're all pretty active there on the day, brought our own chef to create a meal that's appropriate for the day. The past few years racing has been absolutely amazing, and I believe you're going to top it all this year. Well, we've sort of a little bit pressured in a funny way to be able to achieve more. And we certainly do our best to do that, Has to be different every time. It's often the same people, or a lot of the same people who are attending. So, yeah. This year the theme is in celebration of excellence. We can say that because so many of their horses are doing well, and it would seem that generally the Twitter and the twatter that's going on about Lanzarek on the media is really good for us, and people are enjoying it. And I believe the dress code is classic extravagance. Yes, it is. We thought that we would introduce the sort of classic extravagance of Lanzarek itself, and then hope that the people would dress accordingly and extravagantly. Thank you, Winston. Okay. We're going to take a look now at some of the rooms here at Lanzarek Hotel.
A very warm welcome to one of Lanzarek's newly refurbished rooms. I'm very proud to announce that Lanzarek is midway through a multi-stage renovation. This is 218, one of our renovated luxury rooms, and I'm sure you'll agree the renovation is very special. The rooms combine the history of the old Grand Dame of Stellenbosch with the 5-star amenities that our guests will expect. And the best part of this room, as I'm sure you'll agree, is the beautiful feature bathroom.
reached the front in the Oaks. Her 1,000 guineas success. Finding outclassed them. Architecture gallant in defeat. He's coming with a challenge and moves through into second. And it's Tarzan who has won the Investec Derby.
A length and a half away. He's 2 lengths in front. Chrome turns to gold. Smart Call wins the Jambi Met.
Absolute thriller going to the line. It's Durban, July.
Teletrack.com. Well, if you haven't yet subscribed, it's certainly a medium that you need if you're a serious race goer. And I can tell you what, CTS are in discussions with Teletrack.com as well, and we're hoping to bring you all the live gallops from the upcoming ready-to-run sales live on the Teletrack.com web streaming service. So if you haven't yet subscribed, now's best the time to do so. Right, let's catch up with Candice Robinson now. She's taken over at the helm of the Mike Bass racing team since Mike's retirement. And Fiona Ramsden once again catches up with Candice at the Milnerton Stables.
Mike Bass Racing has been running since 1976 with outstanding achievements over the years. And just recently, Candice Robinson, Mike's daughter, has taken over the licence. To begin with, Candice, it was quite a shock when your father became ill last year.
Yes, Fee, very much so. I was actually overseas. I planned to go away on my annual little holiday, and I think I'd been in Germany for 2 days, and I got a phone call to say, you know, you better come home because, you know, my father's really ill, and, you know, the prognosis is not looking good. So yeah, it was a very stressful time for me, and, you know, obviously, you know, being that ill and the prognosis not being that good, emotionally it takes a huge toll on everybody, and you know, we're a very close-knit family, and that certainly did help make things a lot easier, and you know, the support that we got from everybody was actually quite unbelievable. But yeah, thankfully we managed to get through all of that, and I certainly just kind of picked up the reins and carried on, which was, you know, a little bit daunting in the beginning because my father lying in a coma, you've got questions you want to ask, and you know, you can't ask any questions because you know, he couldn't answer it all. So yeah, it was a very stressful time, but as I said, thankfully, you know, things turned out well, and we managed to get through all of it.
Well, thankfully he's doing really, really well now, looking amazing. What was the decision behind your taking over the reins officially?
Well, I think it was always going to happen at some stage, you know, and I think due to circumstances it kind of just happened a little bit quicker than what it would have happened. I've always been around. I did actually go out and work in the corporate world for 7.5 years in between, and then once we got a bit bigger here, I came back and started working here full time, and that's probably been for about close on 15 years now. So yeah, I love it. It's a passion of mine. I love horses. I enjoy the racing. I just enjoy everything about it. It's a fairly stressful job, but I think that goes with the territory. And yeah, we've got a great team here, so that also helps. It helps with everything, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the future.
You ended on a high at the end of the season. It was fantastic for you, and with the whole family being there in Durban, must have been great.
Yeah, no, it was a real fairy tale ending, I must say. It was quite a nerve-wracking day to start out with, but yeah, it couldn't have ended better than it did, and you know, we had a great season as well. It was a really good season, and you know, Marinaresco just winning on the day just really topped everything off, so it was super. And
Inara being Horse of the Year, that was quite an achievement.
Yeah, no, Inara's been a wonderful mare. You know, we really are going to miss her, having her in the yard, and you know, I'm sure she'll be a really successful mare at stud. But yeah, she's been amazing. She just you know, she just produced the goods, and year after year, and you know, it's been an absolute honour having her in the yard too, and we've had great fun out of watching her be as successful as she was.
And it was wonderful seeing your father pick up a Special Achievement Award at the Cape Town Awards.
Yeah, it was a really nice evening, Fiona. Unfortunately, I was sick, so I couldn't be there, which was a bit sad because I was actually quite looking forward to going. But I did watch your clip that you had on Breeding to Win. But yeah, I think he's been a great trainer over the years, and I think the support that people have shown him, and that has been absolutely amazing. And I think he himself has been astounded by the whole, by this, the support that he's had from everybody. And yeah, I think he's been a really great trainer, and I've got rather large shoes to fill. But he's here every day, so I've certainly, nothing much has changed other than me taking over as being the trainer.
And you've just recently opened up a yard in Durban. How's that going?
Yes, Robert Fade Herb is running our yard in Durban. We've got a really nice private yard up at Summerveld. And yeah, we've got 35 boxes up there now, and I think we've got about 27 horses in at the moment. It's going well. We had our first runner up there the other day, ran second, and I think it works really well for us because, down here in the season time, some of our horses that are a little bit weaker, we can send to race up there, and I think they'll have a better chance of winning or earning up there than down here where, the fields are a little bit too strong. We've got quite a few juveniles up there, and, I think Robert does a really good job. He did a great job in the season up there.
We've already touched on your support group, but it's fantastic. You've got loyal staff, great family support. It's a really good setup.
Yeah, no, we've got a wonderful team here, Fee, and everybody's been with us for a long time. So staff members have been really loyal. Trevor's been with us for a good 25 years or more now, and he's always behind the scenes. We don't really see him at the races, and he does a great job. And we've got Mel, exceedingly hardworking, and she really does a good job. And then obviously the family, we all together. Mark handles all the marketing side of everything, and then there's my mother, who's everywhere. She also just keeps everything together here, which is great, and my father obviously. And then we've got Belinda Hatred, who rides a lot of work for us in the morning, and she's a huge asset to our yard because she's a wonderful work rider, and her input is invaluable. And then Marie, our lady in the office, she does a lot of hard work here behind the scenes, and yeah, it's a great team. And then obviously all our jockeys and grooms and things like that. Without them, we just don't have a business. So we're very grateful for all their hard work they do.
You've been a keen Western Province rider yourself for many years. Will you be able to carry on with that?
Yeah, I certainly will. It's a huge passion of mine. I love riding. I've got a Dutch warm blood that I do dressage on, and for me, it's number one. It's a nice break just from all the stress and things that go with it. It's a nice way just to clear my mind and not have to answer my phone and whatever. And I've got time at lunchtime. Once I'm finished here in the morning, I'll go and ride at lunchtime. And if I do compete, it's every now and then on the weekends. But when I am competing, but yeah, I love it. Unfortunately, all my hobbies are horse related, but it's one thing that I really do enjoy, and for me it's great downtime, and I'm a fairly competitive rider too, so I enjoy that side of it too.
Well, Candice, we wish you all the best in your new role as a trainer, and the whole Bass family. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thanks very much.
Rock now comes bounding into the lead. Towards the inside, Argonaut, then comes Street Cat, Golden Music trying to quicken up. 7th Rock in front though, 7th Rock in front as they get to the line. Argonaut lunges late, 7th Rock won it. And Guinness now ridden to respond 3 parts of a length. Carry On Alice is now going to try and reel him in late on, but Guinness continues to go from Carry On Alice, who's coming home late. Guinness is crying for the line. Guinness all out and pulled it off.
But it's just fantastic, I won the same race on his father.
Sure.
So to win on the Progeny as well, very special, and obviously a big well done to the boss as well.
Yeah, decent. Don't forget 7th Rock. He's just a superb stallion, and I've been saying it for a long time to a lot of people. And this horse has vindicated what I've been saying about 7th Rock. He is just a supreme stallion.
That's another one for Dennis Dreyer, and 7th Plane has won it by 2.
People didn't believe me when I told them about 7th Rock. Well, I don't have to say anything more. I think he's speaking for himself now.
7th Heart's accelerated late on to win it. 7th Heart has its head in front, and 7th Heart with a punched out win. And here comes 7th Heart to give Sean Terry 4 on the day. Perfect.
And Rock On Baby's going to win it by 4 or 5. Rock On Baby by about 5 lengths.
7th Plane rises through. Another grade 1. 7th Plane, brilliance on display.
New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
Well, last week we caught up with John Freeman Stallions, Legislate and Futura, and also the rest of the Drakenstein Stallion Band at their Stallion Day. This week, John Freeman sends us 2 new drafts and 2 stallions that he represents as well. Let's catch up with the Freeman Stallion news.
Jackson. Breathtaking class. Movie star looks. Winner of 3 Grade 1 races.
Variety Club has no answer, and Jackson is storming home. Jackson draws off to win the derby in great style from Variety Club.
But Jackson's got them all stone cold in the Daily News, and Jackson's impressive. Vettel fights back for second, Shogun a third, then White Line, Female, Pomodoro and Master Plan.
Here's Jackson with fire in his eyes, and it's Jackson the last 100 like a ball of fire wanted.
It's humbling to work with horses of his caliber.
He's a top horse.
He's a fantastic animal. He's world class. He's won 3 Group 1s. He doesn't have to say any more. He's done the talking.
Jackson, regally bred, his sensational sire Dynasty, his illustrious dam line, crammed with champion racehorses and champion sires. Jackson stands at Highland Stud Farm and is managed by John Freeman. Wiley Hall is the only Grade 1 winning son of Australia's undisputed king of sires, Redout's Choice, at stud in South Africa. He achieved a merit rating of 119, a versatile performer, winning from 1,400 metres to 2,450 metres. First past the post in 3 Grade 1 races. He is a half-brother to champion sprinter Absolute Champion, who beat Silent Witness, breaking his own track record in the highest-rated sprint performance in the world in 2006. And he is also a 3-parts brother to Grade 1 Oaks winner Anamato. Wiley Hall's striking defeat of a high-class field in the Grade 1 South African Derby is especially significant because his race record combines speed and classic class.
Wiley Hall, that comes together with Gothic as they pass the 200. Warhorse, here comes Talina, who's finishing strongly on the stand side. Wiley Hall is there. Gothic, Talina's on the outside, but it's Wiley Hall now coming to the lead into the closing stages from Gothic, and Wiley Hall has won the SA Derby.
First past the post in the 2014 Vodacom Durban July, Wiley Hall was denied victory in the boardroom.
Wiley Hall legislates now alongside. Wiley Hall legislate. Futurist flying on the inside. Here it comes. Wiley Hall perhaps ahead. Wiley Hall.
He warmed up for the Grade 1 Champions Challenge with a fluent win in the Grade 2 Colorado King Stakes.
Wiley Hall goes for home and he looks good for victory. Wiley Hall wins the Colorado King Stakes.
And then he won the Grade 1 President's Champions Challenge in fine style.
But it's Wiley Hall on the stand side, half the deficit. No worries, Majmu tries hard in the closing stages. Wiley Hall, Majmu tries hard, but she's not going to get there. And Wiley Hall beats Majmu.
Wiley Hall's sire, Redout's Choice, is the undisputed king of Australian sires. Triple champion sire of 123 stakes winners, including 27 Grade 1 winners. He set a new Australian yearling sale record at $5 million. Redout's Choice has a phenomenal 50 sons at stud who have produced winners. 15 of them have produced stakes winners. 8 of them have Grade 1 winners. An incredible achievement for any sire in his own lifetime. Wiley Hall is owned by a syndicate and managed by Freeman Stallions.
Down here on the Cape, the weather, the grass, the horses. Here's where it is, Main Chance Farm, champion breeders.
Well, the Parker family with Ascot Stud have been synonymous with creating and bringing in top-class stallions. They're now standing a horse called Bold Silvano, who we all know really well. He's a previous Durban July winner, and they've also got a new acquisition in the form of a son of Galileo called Global View. We took time to catch up with Ashley Parker and his team out at the Ascot Stud.
Stormcat himself is really becoming a sire of a broodmare sire of stallions. We think of Sky Mesa, has done extremely well, and Glen Eagles has now gone to Coolmore to Standard Stud there. He's out of a Stormcat mare. And then Spitestein, of course. And Spitestein's been an amazing stallion for Windstar Farms, also out of a Stormcat mare.
Meets the father of Frankel and last year's winner of the Epsom Derby Ruler of the World. Galileo was a champion in his own right, just as his father, the great Saddler's Wells, was. It's a bloodline that's produced more than 100 first-class winners.
Out of an Al Mufti mare called Bold Saffron, who'd won 4 races herself and finished second in the listed Flamboyant Stake.
Having produced as many wins as he did and as many years in the breeding shed as he has, when he comes at you now, watch to see how straight those legs come forward, with every joint lined up with one another, and all those joints appear to be 4- or 5-year-old legs instead of 20-year-old legs. You got to be proud of that genetic makeup. And it portends well for his offspring and how effective they will be over the long haul on the race courses of the world. Silvano, champion.
Bold Savannah, Irish Flame, Bold Savannah past the 200. Bold Savannah's finding more from Irish Flame. Happy Valley's running on. It's Bold Savannah and Irish Flame. Bold Savannah, Irish Flame. Bold Savannah has won the Vodacom. What a win by number 6. Bold Savannah has won it.
Time Thief stands at Naddison Park.
owned by Hassan Adams and situated in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Time Thief is a son of Redoubt's choice. He's out of the mare Procrastinate, which makes him a half-brother to Laissez-Faire. Undoubtedly the best sprinting filly that this country has seen for many, many a year.
Zenyatta, now we all remember that name. What a magnificent race mare she was. Zenyatta is the retired American champion thoroughbred racehorse. She was the winner of 19 consecutive races in a 20-race career. She was owned by Jerry and Ann Moss. Zenyatta was trained by John Sheriffs and ridden by jockey Mike Smith for 17 of her 20 starts. She's by Street Cry, and she was named after the album Zenyatta Mondata, which was by the Police. It was signed by the A&M Records, her owner, Jerry Moss. Zenyatta was also known for her brilliant closing finishes. During her racing career, she stood at 17.2 hands, and at the Withers, and she weighed in at a maximum of 552 kilograms. Zenyatta was inducted to the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame on the 25th of April 2016. Tremendous racehorse Zenyatta was. I remember watching her at the Breeders' Cup, absolutely scintillating. And ESPN also thought so because they've put together the following documentary.
First, she's huge. The average thoroughbred measures 16 hands. That's 64 inches to what's called the Withers. Zenyatta measures 17.2 hands, over 5.5 feet. And at 1,200 pounds, she's 200 pounds heavier than most of her competitors. And a horse her size has a huge heart, bigger than a volleyball. Zenyatta's resting heart rate is only 24 beats per minute, but in a race, it can crank up to 240. Capable of pumping up to 130 gallons of blood per minute. This unbeaten thoroughbred's trainer, John Sheriffs, compares Zenyatta's athleticism to a legendary runner who at one point won 122 races in a row.
If I think of an athlete, I think of Edwin Moses, the great hurdler. He had such a beautiful stride on him. Well, it was effortless the way he ran.
Zenyatta's effortless stride is a key to her signature homestretch kick, which usually starts from the back of the pack.
Zenyatta's come to the outside.
Jay Kilgore uses video analysis software to study horses and their strides. Markers measure the geometries and trajectories of every segment of Zenyatta in motion. The picture of biomechanical efficiency.
When we look at Zenyatta, we find that the markers are very smooth and do not show very much variation.
The average thoroughbred stride length is 23.5 feet. Zenyatta's maximum measured stride is a gigantic 26.3 feet. That means she could cover a football field in about 11 strides. And that long stride doesn't just cover more track. Horses have to breathe and sync with their stride, one breath per stride. And longer strides mean longer, deeper breaths, filling her lungs with muscle-fueling oxygen.
What's amazing about Zenyatta is she's able to lengthen her stride in the home stretch when most horses are shortening up.
If Zenyatta is neck and neck with a horse with a quarter mile to go, and they both maintain the same stride frequency, about 2.5 strides per second, but Zenyatta increases the length of her stride by only 4 inches, she wins by over 15 feet. Now, stride length isn't the only reason Zenyatta is arguably the greatest thoroughbred of all time. But get this, when compared to Secretariat, Zenyatta's maximum stride is over a foot longer.
What a true champion Zenyatta was. Spine-tingling stuff. Well, that's a wrap from our show tonight, but we're going to leave with another positive note. Frankel is certainly doing the job as a stallion. He's got prolific statistics as we speak, and he closed out the week with another facile winner. Let's take a look at this as we say goodbye.
So they're ready.
And away they go. Oh, and Shabir goes quite sharply left-handed towards Seven Heavens. That's just lit up Seven Heavens a little bit as they cover the first furlong. And Shabir is out in front in what is now left to be a match. And look at this favourite pulling. A few of the Frankels have been very keen in their races, and Seven Heavens is far too keen at the moment as they swing right-handed. And Shabir leads the way by a length and a half to Seven Heavens. Robert Havlin with his hands more than full as they race towards the home turn. Shabir and Franny Norton from Seven Heavens tucked in behind, still over racing. And if this was a more competitive race, you'd be seriously worried, and maybe it is, as Shabir certainly showed ability first time out as they run down towards the final 3 furlongs. Shabir from Seven Heavens, has he done too much in second as they race inside the 3 on their way to the final quarter mile? And it's Shabir, Seven Heavens now travelling very strongly and pulled out by Havlin, and immediately Franny Norton is in the drive position and Seven Heavens edges on now. Seven Heavens just inching across to the rail, but nicely clear of Shabir as they enter the final furlong, and Seven Heavens is drawing away in good style, following up that win at Ascot first time out. He pulled very hard in the early stages, but yet another Frankel with lots of talent. Seven Heavens beats Shabir.
Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again. Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.